We had to sort of navigate it as we were going, and we did it in quite a lot of pieces.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was.
Yeah. It's a difficult one to talk about.
It is.
Anything for you.
I think sometimes, like, we were, I wouldn't say we disagreed, like, not me and you specifically, but, like, just as a group of people telling this story, we had to kind of figure out what the story was, like, what that represented, and I think everyone came up, like, kind of had different ideas.
Yeah, Jacob had all of these prosthetics on his face all the time for that whole sequence, because it was quite a long time we were shooting that, and everyone was like, "Oh God," and I'd be like, "Oh Jacob, I'm so sorry." Like, it's not real, Sam. It's not.
Yeah, nobody.
Sometimes you'd just be like, "Oh God, I can't believe you look." So yeah, it was icky to film. It was not a pleasant thing to film, but it was very impressive the way that they shot it, because we had multiple stunt doubles, and a lot of it was shot practically with practical effects in the space.
That is the point where their family dynamic is completely blown up. It's like it kind of.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to. It's almost impossible to just go back to how things were after that point. Like, a boundary is crossed.
Yeah,
and
it needed to happen. Probably it needed to happen. I mean, they weren't functioning as a couple, and Lestat needs a certain amount of attention, and he sort of wasn't given that attention. And when he's not given that attention, he really acts out badly.
Louis! Louis!
They're definitely not able to have a grown-up conversation. do probably the best thing, which would be to part. But it's very hard to part with the vampire blood bond. It's very hard to separate.
Say at the start, I am never going to love you.
Yeah, the vampire bond is like the base level of their relationship. It's like it, and that carries on for eternity.
Particularly a bond that was made out of love. We ask that question all the time when you share blood, and it's done in a loving way. I think that makes the bond stronger.
I chose you.
Also, Louis not always. I think he's not always comfortable to talk about how he feels in the same way. He doesn't kind of make these grand pronouncements, and I think other people in the relationship need everything to be sort of like said out loud all the time.
It would help me a great deal to hear that from your lips.
It sends him further into himself the more he's kind of told how he should be, how he should do things, how he should operate in that relationship. Like, I think sometimes it gets seen as like withholding, whereas I think he's just like, I'm dealing with a lot right now. The romantic part of their life is also built around this thing that Louis feels so ashamed about, like vampirism, killing. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
like, I'm not saying.
I mean, like, in your darkest time, Lestat stuck around. He was there all the time, waiting. He wanted to go out to a party. He wanted to go out, but he didn't want to go. Then he would sit there waiting for you.
Louis is very depressed. He is. You're getting like an accidental. We didn't come into here with this energy. This is sometimes how it was. This is quite often how it was. Like, we'd like have like little debates about but we get very defensive of each other's characters.
Which I think is important.
Yeah.